My name is Fred Axelgard. I'm a double humanities and French major, and my internship this past summer was based in Brussels, Belgium. The organization that I work for is called the EU Democrats. They're one of the 10 Euro parties or Euro alliances that exists on the European level. Their purpose is to regroup the national parties that are found within each of the 27 member states and essentially make them fit into one of the 10 Euro parties. And I got to work for one of the 10 big Euro parties. Some of my duties, I got to do actually quite a bit of research. My boss was from Argentina and my other colleague was from Sweden. My colleague from Sweden was primarily doing research, and when I got there he was working on a project going over poll results from the different member countries, going precinct by precinct and trying to establish how many people actually voted in the election since 1979. Other daily tasks, I got to do management on the website. I was in charge of putting up news articles, briefs every day. I got to run over the grammar, the English on the website, make sure that it was set. It was very important to have good English speakers there in Brussels because nobody really speaks English there as a first language. And so having people who speak English there as a first language is really, really important actually. I went to some committee meetings in the European Parliament, as well as different discussions that they had. Obviously some based on the Euro, on the progress of the Euro, which was at the time quite low, and also discussions that were social issues such as the burqa going on in Europe at the time, which is still going on and starting to touch America in ways as well. So. Favorite project probably would be preparing for our Congress. My European party got to have their annual Congress in Slovenia, and I got to do some prep work for that. I also got to film the Congress and then put it up on YouTube in a series of videos after the Congress, but I got to spend a weekend in Slovenia, went to Croatia with my boss and my colleague, and that was by far my favorite project. I got to meet our party members that we had in Slovakia and Slovenia, in Ireland, different countries throughout the EU, and it was just great to be able to meet people in such an interesting place. Well, I think probably the way I most benefited was just from the people with whom I was able to work. My boss, like I said, from Argentina, is now a really good friend of mine. We email, we talk back and forth. He had a chance to meet my dad down in Paris. My boss and I went to Paris for a defense show, which my dad was there at the time. And it was great just being able to network like that with people. People being able to see that Americans can come into Europe and still be effective and carry their own weight and see our own natural tendencies as efficient people. I was also able to use my French there, so my humanities and my French courses at BYU definitely prepped me for my internship because I was able to use my social skills as well as my French skills in getting by in Brussels. So I would say definitely the best part was the networking and the contacts. And the second best part was probably that I was wondering at the time if politics is really what I want to do. And being over there, my eyes were opened up a little bit more to Europe, and I was able to make some decisions about things that I want to do in life. So not only will this internship look very good on my resume and on my CV, but it's also helped me know more specifically what I want to do in the future. I was able to do a lot of traveling. I went down to Paris just about every other weekend. I went to Germany on my own. I went to Norway with a buddy. I went to Slovenia and Croatia, like I said. I went down to Barcelona for a weekend. And I was able to travel quite a bit within Belgium. Went to Bruges, went to Ghent, went to Antwerp. And it's great being over in Europe. The travel is so accessible. I loved it. I would definitely recommend my particular internship to another BYU student. I think it's a great way to get outside of Provo, to put our skills into practice that we're learning here and figure out if the skills that we learn here are actually of some worth in the real world. And being over in Europe, you're tested in ways that in America you wouldn't be, not only language-based but also culturally and socially based. They don't work the same way that we do, but as it is going to be in the workforce, we're going to have to learn how to fit in. So I would definitely recommend this internship for anyone who would like to do it, and EU Democrats is a great organization.